a Canadian Magic the Gathering player, well, this channel seems like it's going to be one wild ride.
Hey everyone, Canadian MTG coming at you guys with another modern deck tech. Today I have for you guys Orzhov Extort. Now, this became really big in the fact of Standard back in the Return to Ravnica days, but today we'll be going over it, and my first thing is Marsh Flats. Marsh Flats will definitely be needed in this deck, but he does not have Marsh Flats, so I can't, you know, go, oh yeah, put Marsh Flats in, it's mandatory. It's up to him. Remember, this is not my deck, this is a fan-based deck, so yeah, you probably will not see Marsh Flats in here, even though I highly recommend it. I know it's up like a $20 card, but whatever. Anyways, we have 19 creature cards, 1 Planeswalker, 24 lands, 7 instant, 2 sorcery, 5 enchantment, 2 artifact, and 12 sideboard. Now, in Magic, is it mandatory to have 15 sideboard? Because I remember hearing a rule a while ago from friends that you needed a full sideboard or no sideboard. Anyways, for our creatures, we have Athreos, God of Passage, which is a 5/4 for 3, 1 colorless, 1 white, and 1 black, indestructible. And if your devotion to white and black is less than 7, he isn't a creature. And whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. So it's a really good card in the fact that you will always get your cards back unless your opponents are willing to pay life, which a majority of the time they're not willing to pay life, so that is a benefit to you. And then we got 1 Bascilla Screecher, which, now here's the thing, this deck was supposed to be like a modern deck, but the fact that, standard deck, it became modern, but whatever. Bascilla Screecher, though, is a 1/2 for 2, 1 colorless, 1 black, flying with Extort. And the rule of Extort is whenever you cast a spell, you may pay white or black. If you do, your opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. So it's life gain, burn, all in one. We got 2 Deathbringer Liege. So yeah, this card is modern. It's been modern for like ever. It's a 3/4 for 5, 2 colorless, and then 3 white or black. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1, same with black creatures. And whenever you play a white spell, you may tap target creature, and whenever you play a black spell, you may destroy target creature if it's tapped. So the kind of like the tip is, white will tap, and then you play a black and it'll destroy. I really like the Liege cards, and Deathbringer is definitely one of my favorites. It being a more expensive card at $12 though, always turned me off from getting it, but personally I think it's a really cool card. Then we got 3 High Priest of Penance, which is a 1/1 for 2, 1 black, 1 white. Whenever High Priest of Penance is dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. So whenever he takes damage, you can instantly destroy any card that is a non-land, which means creatures, enchantments, artifacts, you name it, just not land, which is really good. This card was big back in Gatecrash, and I mean Gatecrash because it was Gatecrash, Return to Ravnica, and then the Innistrad sets, so it was a really good card. And then we got 2 Obzedat Ghost Council, 5/5 for a 5 cost, 1 colorless, 2 white, 2 black. When Obzedat Ghost Council enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, so pretty much Extort without the mana. And then, at the beginning of your end step, you may exile Obzedat. If you do, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. It gains haste. Now, see, the thing about that is, he does 2 and you gain 2, and then he comes back, does 2, gain 2, plus it gains haste, so it can attack, and then can keep doing it, and then that's what makes him a good card. He was a lot more expensive back in Standard, but he still goes for $3. He's not like completely worthless. Then we got Thrull Parasite, which is a 1/1 for 1 black with Extort, and then tap, pay 2 life, remove a counter from target non-land permanent. This is good for when funding like Silentia or Boros or anything that would pump up your creatures. Or actually Simic. Simic would probably be the biggest one at the time. And then we got 4 Tithe Drinkers, which is a 2/1 for 2, 1 black, 1 white with lifelink and Extort. And then 3 Vampire Nighthawk, which is a 2/3 for 3, 1 colorless, 2 black, flying, death touch, and lifelink. He fits perfectly. Vampire Nighthawk will always be one of those black cards that's kind of a staple. There's very few decks out there, even modern, standard, anything, when at the time that he's out, that you won't use him. And then our Planeswalker, we've got Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, which is a 3 loyalty, 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 black. For +1, put a 1/1 black vampire creature token with lifelink onto the battlefield. -2, you get an emblem with creatures you control get +1/+0. And -6, destroy up to 3 target creatures and or other planeswalkers. Return each card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. So he's good in the sense that he can easily take over other planeswalkers, creatures, or anything like that once he's at, I'd say, at least 7 loyalty. But otherwise, great card. And then our lands are pretty basic. We got 3 Godless Shrine, which is your black-white. Isolated Chapel is the same thing. Then 8 plains, and then 9 swamps. And no, I am sorry, antivirus, I do not want to update you. But I still think maybe less plains and less swamps. Like, take out maybe 2 of each, and then put in 4 marsh flats. My personal opinion, maybe the Cave of... Is it Cave of Koilos that came back? I can't remember, but... Wait, no, Cave of Koilos would be modern, so Cave of Koilos could also be in here instead of plains and swamps. But my personal opinion. Anyways, our instances, we have 3 Orzhov Charm, which is a white-black. Choose 1. Return target creature card you control and all auras you control attached to their owner's hand, or destroy target creature and you lose life equal to its toughness, or return target creature card with converted mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Good for getting back things like Thrull Parasite if you want them. Or, I think that's actually the only one that costs 1. Yeah, we only have that. It's mainly used to destroy, though. Then we got 2 Tragic Slip, which is a 1 black. Target creature gets -1/-1. And if a creature died, it gets -13/-13 instead. And then we got 2 Zealous Persecution, which this is an old one. It's kind of nice to see it in here. White and black. Until the end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1, and creatures your opponent control get -1/-1. Pretty basic. So 1 mana is pretty much paying for your creatures to get buffed, and then 1 mana is paying for them to get debuffed. So, pretty interesting card. And yes, the deck text will be longer because you guys suggested them to be longer, so that's why I'm going over. Sideboard, though, I still won't go over what they do. And we got 2 sorceries, Lingering Souls. So 2 colorless, 1 white. Put 2 1/1 white creature spirit tokens on with fly onto the battlefield, and flash back 2 1 colorless and 1 black to get the card back. Then our enchantments, we have 2 Blind Obedience with Extort. Artifacts and creatures your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. So it's a 2 cost, 1 colorless, 1 white. Really good card. And then Edge of Divinity for 3 is a either black or white. And enchant creature. It gets, if it's white, it gets +1/+2, and then if it's, black, it gets +2/+1. Then here's the expensive card this guy actually put in. 2 Sword of Light and Shadow, which is a 3 cost, equip 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from white and black. And whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 3 life, and you may return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So, really good card. And then as for the sideboard, we have Castigate, Doomblade, Merciless Eviction, Mortify, and Morsin Collector. So, overall, very, very basic Orzhov deck. Actually, a little more costly than I expected it to be. Comes out to about 174, which is kind of cool because he's got 2 Sword of Light and Shadow. And with these 2, man, I love this deck, personally. I've always loved Orzhov. Never have the cards to build it, but this deck, we may just have to build, guys. We may just have to build. So I will see you guys next time for some more Magic the Gathering content.